Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hell We Ride. When we last left off, the group ran into Haruman on his hill.
Literally.
They freed a vampire by the name, don't quote me on this, Jander Sunstar, who was a worshipper of Lathander, who apparently was around when the Hell Knights were with Zariel when they attacked Hell. And he's the one that closed the portal, trapping Zariel and the rest of the army there. His punishment was to be on that iron tree on spikes, and Sturges were just pumping him with blood with the men that he used to command.
Jeez.
And the group freed him. The second they freed him, that's when Haruman, one of the other generals of Zariel's army, back when Zariel was an angel, showed up. But now, instead of being a human, he was a devil. A powerful devil. A Narzugon, if I remember correctly. And he was on a nightmare, which is the hellish horse. Black fur, red fiery eyes, fire mane, fire hooves, gallops in the air. Terror all around. Koi shot it down almost instantly. And after a tough battle, you all eventually got down to the bottom of the hill, got your vehicle, and defeated Haruman. I believe Nyx actually ran off with Elizabeth, the doll that had been following you all. Unfortunately, she was up in a tree, and when she fell, her head got cut wide open. One of the iron branches just chopped it off. And in order to avoid any further damage, Nyx drove off with her. So we'll start with Nyx. Nyx, you're in your Devil's Ride, the equivalent of a motorcycle in this hellish landscape. And you are driving off. The hill is becoming further and further away. Just seems to die off into the horizon. Actually, quite quickly. Sitting in front of you, laying sideways, is this lifeless wooden doll. You have the top part of her head in your backpack or inventory, whatever you want to call that. And you've been driving for a few minutes now. You think you are pretty far away from any of the action. What do you do?
Fair enough. It's been a long day. If I'm a fair distance out, I'm definitely going to go ahead and stop and try to mend the broken piece of the doll.
Okay. So you do the classic Akira bike, shoot it sideways and stop.
Yes.
You get out of the vehicle, and as quickly as you can, you put the body on the ground, have the head part that was missing and put it on there, and you start the cast mending.
Yes.
A minute passes, actually a bit more than a minute passes, and you finish sealing up her head. There's a very faint mark around her head, like that. That seems to signify where you the fibers seem to remesh themselves from your smell.
So a scar.
Essentially. However, she does not move.
Okay. So be freaking out right about then. Probably going to wait for the others to catch up in case they have an idea of what to do.
Okay. Well, back at the hill. Rest of the group. You're in your... No, wait, no. Yours is the Demon Grinder. What is... Oh, no, yeah. Yours is Demon Grinder, and Nyx has the Devil's Ride. And the Demon Grinder is more like a Humvee with a giant wrecking ball crane on the back and a big maw mechanic thing on the front.
We are in an MRAP.
Yes. You are in the middle of your turn, and as you turn, you clearly see Richtofen being the driver. Where that devil was that was attacking you, Haruman, he is not moving, and most of him is in the ground.
Is he still after us? Raka's just in the back, just cold sweat beating down her brow, just trying to hold the thing in place.
Oh,
Well, I don't see any twitching.
What? Looks up. Hearing the maniacal laughter, she's gonna get up to the peer in the front seat and just hand on the driver's seat, just look over, just
you open the hatch, opening up into the driver's seat area, and you peek your head up. I think I got a fairly decent perception. He hasn't moved at all in your entangling spell. You just see like a iron branch or iron root from one of these iron trees. How many times can I say iron in one sentence? Slowly wrapping over top of his body, but his body is not resisting at all. It's face first on the ground.
And I can see the impact crater from the wrecking ball.
Yes, like DBZ Yamcha crater.
Oh, he got Yamcha'd.
That was mean.
But you laughed at it.
At least you're not Yamcha.
Braka immediately slaps a hand to her head, just running her fingers through her hair, and just looks over to Richtofen, just at the maniacally laughing dragonborn, then slowly back over to Lulu to try and just see what she's feeling, because that used to be her friend.
I think he's dead.
Does she look disturbed at all? Like horrified that we killed him?
She looks what's the word? I guess regret. But not mournful.
Right. She just goes, God's above, Richtofen. What the hell?
As I'm commanding my bigger boys to move towards the corpse.
Or is it rather what they hear? What the hell is wrong with you? We could have talked to him. Or at least just got away.
Coming through from the bottom of the hill up the hill are your Skelly boys. And you said specifically the Murotars, aka skeleton minotaurs, are climbing up the hill. Luckily, they do not have horns anymore, or they might be getting stuck in all these iron branches as they trudge up the hill, and they slowly but surely get up to where you're at.
Well, I was commanding them to go towards the body of Haruman.
They turn around
to ensure he's gone.
They turn around and they go to his body, and they stand right in front of it. No reaction from the body, no reaction from them.
Just to ensure one of them have them bring down the great axe to decap.
Pulls a coup de grace, executioner axe style. 2 hands over. You hear a bit of scrape of metal and a dull thud. And then pulls up the blade.
Alright, I think we're good.
Raka just slowly starts massaging her temples, I should just give up on the peaceful option from here on out.
Everyone in the group, besides Nyx, give me a perception check.
Peace was never an option.
Perception.
Wait, is that using just the basic perception check, or just or my passive?
A perception check, yes.
Okay, so it's an 8.
All right.
18.
All right.
21.
Richtofen and Koi notice way off in the distance, way past your hill, red dust is slowly fading off into the horizon. And that's when you remember that Nyx went off with the bike.
Oh.
Hey Lulu, would you go tell him that it's safe? He can stop running now.
It's probably.
Since you're a lot faster. Zoom, zoom.
Oh, okay. Just give me a moment. And she flies over to Haruman's dead body.
Braka's gonna climb out with her.
Okay.
We'll get out and check the state of the vehicle.
She flies over, and you hear her mumbling some things. You can give me a perception check if you want, because she's kind of being quiet about it.
Right, and she's
And there's
also gonna
Also,
Raka's
constant
gonna just,
screaming of the damned on these trees.
right. Raka's also gonna just drop the entanglement spell so everybody can get close.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, none of your minotaurs were entangled.
Right. It's a 9.
You freed the vampire, free me! You just hear from the guy
Yeah.
like on the tree right next to you, kind of distracting you.
Right.
How many people are on trees?
Every single tree has one soldier on it, one Hell Rider. And this,
Which was
this is
something
a
like how
large
many?
hill filled with trees made of iron. So a few
Several
hundred. A few hundred.
Alright. What do you think? Should we free them?
It would take hours, maybe days.
It's a lot of people.
I hate to leave people here, but
Lulu finishes whatever she was saying, and she flies off in the direction of the red dust cloud. You hear like a boom noise as she breaks the sound barrier about a few hundred feet away. I joke just because her fly speed's crazy.
Yeah, Raka just like follows her with her eyes and her head as she goes, and then just sighs heavily. And you watch her body just her hair start to just cover most of her body, and her fingers start to harden into keratin claws, and she turns into a giant badger and just starts digging a grave for Haruman.
The digging is difficult due to the iron roots just under the soil.
Right. We're that close to the trees?
You guys are like in them. You was driving through them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, because we did turn around and come back down. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah,
You're,
it's
you're also
still gonna,
on a hill, but you can still do it as a badger.
right. Yeah, it's still gonna pay some. She wants to pay respect to the dead. This was Lulu's friend after all. She just wants to be respectful.
You notice as you are setting up. You know what? Give me like a strength survival check as a badger.
Strength survival check as a badger. So it can be either strength or survival using the badger stats?
If you have proficiency in survival, you would add your proficiency modifier plus your strength mod.
Okay. So
I'm twisting things up a little.
no, it's all good. That is
Adding a little lemon lime twist.
it's a 13.
All right, you dig him a pretty decent sized hole.
Right.
That you're able to put the body in. As you were moving the body, you notice that on the helmet, Lulu's nose, the end of her trunk, seems to have touched right on the helmet, and it seems like it burned it almost like it was acid. And you see a strange symbol on there instead of two little nostril spots.
But I know what it is.
You can roll me an Arcana check or a religion check.
Kind of religion. I get the same modifier to him. Oh, come on! 11.
You're not sure exactly what it says, but you're pretty sure it's in Celestial.
No, I wouldn't have been able to read it anyways if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Raka's going to just gently place him in there with her badger jaws and then just rebury it and reassumes her natural like half-orc form, and then she'll just start using druidcraft to if the vines will work with her to try and shape them so that they make a nice grave marker and say in and say something nice and druidic, like "Here lies Haruman, fallen but not forgotten."
I will ask this since you have to take this will take a few minutes,
Mhm.
which Nyx will catch up on when we get to there. You notice the body was super mangled by the bladed wheels and then crushed by the wrecking ball.
Right.
But the spurs on his boots and his greatsword are somehow perfectly intact. Did you keep those on him and you buried him with those? Or did you remove those before burying him completely?
Um, I probably would have probably not taken probably wouldn't have done them with the boots or the great sword, because those aren't how he should be remembered.
Okay, fair enough.
Mhm.
Nyx, you're sitting there for a few minutes when suddenly you swear you can see a golden star in the sky, and then you realize it's getting closer, and suddenly you, about a few hundred feet away, that's when you realize it's Lulu flying towards you. And then Lulu slows down and then goes right to you. Are you okay? Sees the doll on the ground. I'm sorry. Nyx?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I have giant elephant ears.
Sorry. I thought I was muted there for a second. Yeah, asking Lulu if there's anything she can do.
She just shakes her little head. Gotta give it use anytime I can.
That plushie was a worthwhile investment.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. So yeah, Nyx just kind of shrugs and picks the doll up, asks if the others are okay.
Lulu fills you in, saying that they're burying Haruman right now.
Okay.
She also tells you that she cast a spell to make sure he doesn't come back for a while. But she can't really do anything else.
That's more than enough to get a bit of a head start. So yeah, I would just wait for the rest of the group to catch up at that point. Wouldn't want them to stop what they're doing, but Nyx is kind of concerned with other things.
What are you concerned about? Anything I could do to help, maybe?
Kind of shrugs and points back to Elizabeth. Probably not.
I don't know. Everyone's sad. I don't like having everybody sad. I know. There's a song I used to sing that would always cheer me up. And I'm gonna have her do a performance check as she tries a little song and dance. Avernus dice do not like joy.
Fucking figures.
This will be up to you if you actually do this in character or not. But she's trying to sing and stuff, and she's like hopping in the air and dance and stuff, and she actually somehow trips on her own ear and flips over and falls into the dirt.
Well, Nyx
Almost
would
like
ask,
slapstick. Yeah.
could Nyx tell if that was on purpose or not?
It was definitely not on purpose with a nat one.
Okay. Oh.
Oof.
Yeah, Nyx still rather concerned with other things. Still ask if she's okay after that.
She's like, I'm fine. And she quickly gets up off the ground, and she uses her giant elephant ear wings to dust herself off.
Okay.
Rest of the group, after the body's buried, what do?
Right. Having successfully demorphed, Baka is going to pick up the spurs, because it's just the spurs, not the boots.
You buried those, right?
No, they were. Braca would have just seen them as just aspects of Haruman that weren't true to who he used to be, and so she would have just removed them before she transformed and stuff.
Oh, okay. You take them off, and like his armor, it's made of infernal steel. It's got a greenish tint to it.
Is it just the spurs, or is it boots? Boots.
It looks like it went with the boots, but like all spurs, you can detach them from the boots, which you did.
Okay. All right. So she's just gonna take those back. Just got the great sword. It's kind of digging a trench in the dirt because she doesn't. Well, I don't know. She's actually pretty strong, so she's gonna take it with. She just doesn't really. She just looks at it and she's like, just hands it off. Like puts it out to one of the Minotaurs, the Marotars, and remembers that they can't really act autonomously, and then just shrugs and sort of just like plants it in the dirt in front of one of them. And then walks over to Richthofen and the others and goes, "This stuff, I don't know if this might be useful or not. It just didn't seem right to bury him with them. It's not who he was. This place changed him."
Well, would that armor fit one of the Tars since they're a larger body?
No, it's definitely armor for a human, and it's super mauled up.
Yeah, we've got the boots and we've got the sword.
Do we have the cargo capacity to take it in the vehicle?
The boots and the sword?
Yeah, you do. That's when somehow the timing of the sound is just right that you guys just hear like a zoop, zoop,
mosquitoes.
Zoop. And you look over, and one of Richthofen's human skeletons, every 6 seconds, is shooting one arrow into the corpse of the nightmare.
Oh.
Out of character, that is delightfully macabre.
You notice that the spurs match the tackle on the horse. Wink, wink.
Maybe you can. I mean,
Stop firing. Cease fire. Recover your ammo.
10,000 arrows.
It goes over and it starts retrieving arrows. I'll say you didn't lose any. Don't worry about it.
At 2 feet, I hope not.
Well, I mean, they
how
could
many,
break inside when it tries to take them out. But
sure. How many personnel slots are on the vehicle? I think you said it was like 8.
8 total, I think. It's like 4 spaces and 4 inside.
Would the internal capacity be able to hold the Minotaurs?
Yes.
All right, I will have them go ahead and mount up, and the normal skeletons man the ballistas.
Okay, there are 2 ballistas, and you have 3 human skeletons.
We're going to get a third.
So pretty much what I'm asking is, is Curly one of them that's on the harpoons?
When did I get a third?
I thought you had 3.
No, I got 2 human skeletons and 2 Minotaurs.
Oh, well, okay.
Fairly certain we lost one along the way.
That's right. Okay. That's what happened. So, human skeletons on turrets.
I'll have one of the Minotaurs man the forward teeth, and the other one inside, since Koi is still on the wrecking ball.
I'm chilling there, yeah.
Yeah. The spurs. If Raka puts her foot into one of the boots, does it fit her foot or anything, or does it look like it's something that she would need to attune with?
Let's see here. It looks very powerful magic item, and it looks like it's you need the horse tackle to go with it.
Okay.
Can I do an Arcana check on it?
Sure.
Currently on Nyx's bike.
Wait, did you grab it before you rode off, or?
I'm fairly certain we did.
25.
Okay. You have heard of such an item, Richtofen. Probably more likely from the studies in Candlekeep when you guys were looking up stuff about hell. These are Infernal Tack. It is actually a set consisting of the bridle, the bit, the reins, the saddle, the stirrups, and the spurs. A nightmare equipped with this infernal tack must serve whoever wears the spurs until the wearer dies or the tack is removed. You can use an action to call the nightmare that is equipped with the infernal tack, clashing the spurs together or scraping them through blood. The nightmare appears to start your next turn. It remains for a day until you or it dies, or if you dismiss it. If it dies, it returns to the 9 hells within 24 hours. The tack does not conjure a nightmare from thin air, however. You must first subdue one and get the tack on it.
Alright. So we have the entire set that we can take.
Yes.
So this one doesn't respawn in the 9 hells, right?
Its corpse is in front of you, so you assume it won't.
If you kill it here, it stays here. Okay.
Assuming Richtofen related to the rest of us, Bracca's going to look at it and go, just like deep in thought for a moment. Like she's considering finding one because her being outside the grinder would probably be more beneficial for casting like spells at people who are chasing them. But at the same time, she just doesn't really trust it. So she's like, maybe perhaps we can sell it or something.
I say we take it and hold on to it.
As a bonus, Richtofen, you know that nightmares used to be unicorns.
Nightmare unicorn.
They're unicorns that have been tortured and their horns have been ripped off and they've been tortured in hell until they turned evil.
Jesus.
Always such uplifting information in this game.
Just so you know what a nightmare is. It's not just a horse.
I thought it was someone who lived on Elm Street, but okay.
It would be cooler if they reattached a horn or something, like a demon horn.
There are actually an inverse of unicorns called bicorns.
Mm-hmm.
They're evil. Only let evil people ride them.
Mm-hmm.
So I would want to secure and keep the tack in the vehicle.
All right. She just handed over. Let's go get Nyx then. Just gonna walk.
You'd also know that tack is worth a pretty penny. When I say pretty penny, I mean more than your tavern can earn in a few years.
Yeah, we're taking it.
That's a lot of silver bolts.
No, that's a lot of cake for you, Koi.
For the meta, it's a legendary magical item.
Yeah, definitely yoink, and we're eating out of here.
Yeah. Well said, background voice. Yeah, Bracca's going to walk over to the back of the demon grinder where Koi is set up on the wrecking ball and ask, "Do you want to switch?"
Yeah. Where are you? What's your position?
Well, I was just sitting in the I guess the back seat of this thing. This thing is foreign to me. I lived in the woods.
In the inside.
No, I was in the inside of this thing mostly. I thought, weren't you up in the front of the jaws?
I switched when we rushed.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I can go back to the front.
I just figure I have most of the spells I have focused on for today were for area denial. I figured that'd be better for someone starts chasing us, like the werebores again. There's more of them left out here.
Back there dropping caltrops.
Essentially, yeah.
Cantrip caltrops.
Well, not really cantrip, but full-on spell caltrops. But yeah, if Koi's willing to switch, we'll just swap places.
Yeah, sure. I'll go to the jaws thing.
Skeletons play musical chairs accordingly.
Okay.
But there was no one in the jaw, right?
One of the Minotaur skeletons was, but it moves into the storage bin because you can carry, I think, up to 2 tons in there, and it has enough seats for 8 passengers. But I think all your skeletons, the ones at least not manned on stations, are just into cargo. They don't need seats.
Right. So when everybody's ready, Bracca will just knock on the back, just slap the back, and like, let's go get Nyx.
Oh, and to add extra flavor, I guess, on the back of the, like, when you open up the trunk, so to speak, on the back, there are hooks on the sides. And you weren't sure if they were like for meat hooks or something gross like that. But your skeleton minotaurs use their great axes, and they just hang it on there, on
Nice.
2 hooks each.
It's like a gun rack, but for melee weapons.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hatch down. Let's go.
Hatch down, slam on it, and slam on the hood twice, and Rick DeFinn gets a signal, and you guys are off. Nix, 10 minutes go by, and that's when the rest of the group shows up. Rest of the group, you see Nix just sitting there, looking down at the wooden doll, and Lulu trying to like sing very poorly, apparently.
Immediately, Bracca's in Team Monmouth. She just jumps off and runs up and just like slide kneels in front of them both. Like, what happened?
Lulu just looks at the doll.
Could I do a medicine check on the doll?
Sure.
Or what would this be? Would it be medicine, or would it be Arcana, or what would it be, or something?
The doll looks, I guess, investigation.
Okay. That is a natural 20 for a 23.
Okay, it looks like that the head was resealed back up. You're thinking by magical means, by the way the wood looks on it.
Mhm.
But there is no animation to the body at all.
Is Elizabeth still crying?
No.
Jeez. Just
Actually, with that, wait, what was your investigation total again?
it was a natural 20, so it was a 23.
You notice on her back, as you were like trying to investigate her, and you
Mhm.
notice underneath her dress, there are arcane symbols carved into her back.
Would I recognize what these are?
That would be an arcana.
All right. I'm just going to like gesture for Rick to go over here. It's like she has some symbols on her back. Looks like some sort of arcane stuff. Can you give me a hand with this?
Yeah. Hop out of the vehicle and have the skeletons dismount and provide security.
Right.
Okay,
So-
they all have shades on and earpieces. And they, so you're holding a great axe, and for some reason they're just like, and a
Dragon
shell,
actual
and a
is moving to
shell
the target.
falls
Oh,
out.
better. They hold the great axe and just it's like I take a handful of Denecker and just like on the heads.
Pretty much.
But yeah, so my Arcana is shit. So if you want to do it, I'll give you advantage, but I'll help you so you get advantage.
Lulu will also help. I didn't even know it won't meta help you at all. She will also try to help.
She's
With
doing
my
her best.
Arcana, I get a 22 off the bat.
And
This doll seems to have had a permanent transmutation spell on it, cast at a fairly high level, at least a 4th level, maybe higher. You're thinking, you're pretty sure it was animate object cast on it permanently, much like your table.
or like what we're trying to do to the table.
But the main conclusion is this doll was not animated by necromancy school means. It was not a doll that had a soul inside it. It appears like it was purely a construct.
Examining the doll, what do I see on the front of it? Like, how was it put back together?
You can clearly tell with that Arcana check that Nyx cast mending and mended the head back together. Besides that, there were no predominant injuries on the body. A few scrapes here and there, but you're thinking that's just from wear and tear, from who knows how long it's been in hell.
So like the rune's still glowing, like the spell's still active? Or?
No.
Oh no.
Oh, since you got so high on Arcana, animate object. After the animated object, usually it lasts for a certain duration or until its hit points hit 0. So it looks like it's just its hit points went to 0.
Oh.
Would casting detect magic help me figure out anything to try to reverse it or bring her back?
Do you cast it?
I'll give it a shot.
You cast detect magic, and you no longer detect any magic on her. There's a very faint aura of transmutation from those runes, but it is definitely like expired. Like it's fading. It's almost not there anymore.
Oh gosh. So did Richtofen relay that she just is like lost however like hit points or anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. All right. Brock is going to. She goes, all right. Let's see if we can try something. If that's the case, and she's going to use.
You know healing spells do not work on undead or constructs.
Damn it. What about
You can
healing?
always cast animate object again. Maybe
My
the
last
object
person.
will still remember the stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know the memories, if it stays with the object or with the spell.
yeah, that could work. We could at least try.
Does anyone have animate objects? Because I sure don't.
All I have is animate dead.
I wish I did, says Lulu. That seems fun. I would like to dance with a spoon.
I mean, we can take her and have one of these powerful mages cast it on her.
Yeah.
I mean, we have like this stuff we can sell.
I'm sure that infernal stuff, that horse stuff, would probably be worth more than enough to reanimate her permanently.
Yeah.
Rocco will just put a hand on Nyx's shoulder. We'll get her back.
Nyx just kind of shrugs and picks up the doll, puts it on the bike, and then mounts up.
Can I insight how Nyx is feeling?
You could probably
You don't
tell
need to.
Nyx
You don't.
I
need,
mean,
shit.
Yeah.
You don't need to roll. You guys are close enough now. You guys don't need to roll those.
Right. Just know that Nyx probably just is not feeling the best right now.
Right before you guys head off, that's when an imp flies up towards your party.
Hostile.
Visible. Does not have any weapons on it.
Can we tell if it's one of the messengers from the Wandering Emporium?
You can give me perception checks.
Archers would train on them, but not loose any arrows yet.
Okay. You hear in common.
23.
You hear in common. Hold your fire. Hold your fire. From the imp.
23.
You dumb Burks. 23. You notice that the imp has on a little metal helmet. Little spike on the top.
The Emporium.
It does not match any of the imps from the Emporium.
Oh.
Has a symbol on the helmet that seems to be an infernal.
Raka slowly got the plants growing around her her hands, like she's getting ready to use like some kind of magic, just defensive posture.
Oh, and the imp says, I'm here with a message to Richtofen. So it flies up.
Say what you came for.
Slowly looks over at Rick.
What you always do. Something about a old lady cleric that you made a deal with my master with to bring her back.
Oh, that's still a thing.
A deal's a deal here in hell. Anyway, they mentioned something about want you to get Kochichi's phylactery. Do any of you even know what that is?
Oh,
I
a
know what
phylactery is. But I don't know what Konichi is.
Kochichi is a demon lord that some ice giants worship. Zariel has him trapped here in Avernus.
All right, so where is Kombuchu?
He's in a valley, not far off from here. Just past Bell's volcano, as he points off to a suddenly appearing volcano in the distance.
For half a second, I honestly thought you were going to say he's in hell.
Oh,
Well, he is. I have also been instructed to give you any other information on Kochichi, if you ask.
All right, tell us about Konichiwa.
Well, he's very reluctant. Like, like this is definitely like he has to do this because he has been told to. It's pronounced Kochichi. It is not spelled that way at all. It's not your average demon lord.
I guess there's X's in it.
No, I'm just gonna here. Here you go. I'll put it in Twitch chat as well for those at home.
Oh, okay.
I have to spell Cyrillic in there.
The dramatis personae at the beginning of the book says it's Kochichi, and I'm like, really? That's how your name is pronounced? It's horrible. Anyway, that's Abyssal for you, I guess. He was once a human warlord who, after defeating every enemy in his path, sought to conquer the greatest enemy of all, his own mortality. To do this, he sought out a powerful archfey known as Baba Yaga, the mother of hags. Baba Yaga did as... I'm just going to call him K. Did as K demanded and made him immortal, placing his soul within a special receptacle not unlike a lich's phylactery, and hiding it in a place that only she knows. So long as his body and soul are apart, K cannot be killed. However, the warlord soon learned that the gifts that Baba Yaga had sent him are not as benign as they first appeared. Each time K suffered a blow that would kill a regular man, he would eventually come back to life, but his body became more and more twisted, eventually becoming that of a hideous giant. To end his tormented existence, K rallied an army and marched into the abyss, declaring war on countless demon lords with reckless abandon. Continued exposure to the chaotic energies of the abyss actually transformed him into a demon. He hopes that somewhere in the plane's infinite depths, he'll find a way to obliterate himself once and for all. That the deathless Frost might finally die.
So what exactly am I tasked to do?
Well, you need to get his phylactery. And you won't be of much use to you now. He's all tied up. But if you have his phylactery, you would be able to control him.
Wow.
So that's why he wants him.
Perhaps. I didn't ask. And I'm not allowed to relay that information even if I did. In any case, I hear that the Witch Queen knows where Baba Yaga is at. She actually has an abode here in Avernus. She apparently likes to travel through a lot of the plains. You should be able to find it here, as the imp shows it on your map that you have. The map I gave you on Discord. You guys are in Haruman's Hill, and he points at Bell's Forge. Or he points at a spot in between Bell's Forge and Kochichi's Maw. God, I hate that name. But it's right between those two spots.
The little mound right there?
Yeah, we'll say it's there.
Right.
Her abode is in a giant Gorozu demon's skull. Shouldn't be too hard to find. Also, if you don't get it within a certain time frame that my master didn't tell me, apparently your soul is forfeit. Along with any possessions you have.
Yeah, yada yada. What's the time frame?
I wasn't told. I was just told to tell you there was a time frame.
I don't even know how time passes here. So.
Does anyone?
Fair point.
Time is relative.
Knowing my master, it's just until he gets impatient.
Time is a constant.
I'd probably not Terry.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably need to take at least a long rest to regroup our strength if we're going to talk to a hag, or at least a hag queen. I want to go there unprepared.
We don't have to dilly our dallies.
He wants a tip, doesn't he?
Of course I want a tip.
Looks over at Richtofen just like expectantly. Well, give the little imp a tip.
Suddenly 5,000 arrowheads just
Just the tips.
You joke, but he would do that.
I mean, I was considering.
He's looking at Richtofen specifically, not the rest of you guys.
Will he take gold, or is it only soul coins?
Gold isn't worth much here. A soul coin would work.
I'm not going to tip him with soul coin.
That's fine. You don't have to tip me. I mean, I can always not tell Master how obedient you are, and he might be more lenient on you. But
Fire.
I mean, it's
Braka just looks.
what
Braka just
fire?
looks-
What fire do you use?
No, the arrows. Fire.
Okay, roll to hit.
Braka just gives Richtofen the mom look, just like disapproving mom look, like look what you did.
22 and an 18.
Yeah, both definitely hit an imp.
Does it even matter if I roll damage? Because
Yes, it does.
okay,
You could roll minimum damage and you won't die.
just very badly burned. Let's see, what is it? 1d8 plus 2.
Also, these arrows aren't silvered.
$17 damage total.
Ow! I'll make sure he knows about this, and the imp disappears.
It's just like Braka is massaging the bridge of her nose at this point. It's like, I don't know, ancestors, why am I here with these people?
Alright, so I guess we're going to a volcano now.
Going to what's between the volcano and a giant crack in the hells. But essentially, yes.
For those at home, I'm running. This is from a side adventure called Dance of the Deathless Frost, written by my good friend Dylan, available on the DM's Guild.
Nice.
I'll hopefully link it in the description on YouTube.
Is it anything like Dancing with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight?
Kind of, yeah, actually.
All right. So,
Witchy, no.
so we have to go talk to a hag. He's probably not going to be as amicable as Maggie, and get the trapped soul of a giant demon. Otherwise, Richtofen is probably stuck here forever.
You can roll religion or arcana checks on the Witch Queen. She's quite famous, so.
All right. I'll do the same rule anyways.
So if I lose, I stay in Florida forever.
I was thinking it
Maybe.
was
Soft.
Jersey, but okay.
Soft 20.
The Witch Queen, also known as Igwilf.
Igwilf.
Names, man.
That's a name.
She is, I keep forgetting that show in the 80s, the really hot goth chick.
Elvira?
Imagine, like, Elvira levels of goth chick witch looks. But she is much older than she appears.
So
She
Elvira
has
nowadays.
she has made quite a few spells. She's known for writing multiple copies of the Necronomicon, and for imprisoning demon lords on a whim.
So, yeah, we should be at our best when we go to talk to her.
Also, she was apparently taught by Baba Yaga.
Ah,
So many boogeymen here.
right.
Oh, so many Keanu Reeves.
Oh, and another thing, slight side tangent. She's big in Greyhawk. She's one of the main antagonists against Mordekainen and his. I do not hear rain. Though it does rain in hell, now I think about it. Anyways,
Acid rain, probably.
I was thinking sulfur.
she had a daughter that was a vampire, and there was like a big adventure where you had to go try to kill her daughter. And she's like this high-level vampire spellcaster.
Neat.
Anyway, so back to Avernus.
Right.
It is then that it starts to rain a little bit.
Raka just like looks up at this guy and just like, it's just old adage, rains it pours. Just looks at the rest of the group. Do we want to rest for a bit before we head out to take care of this? Or do we
Is
wanna press
Koi still
forward?
fatigued?
Yes.
Yeah, because Koi has 2 levels of exhaustion.
Other than that, I am. No, I am all burned. I need to rest.
Yeah.
Are we going to take a long rest?
Long rest is the only thing that gets rid of exhaustion.
I mean, can you drive as I sleep?
Yeah, it would just mean you get a long rest and the driver does not. If one of you wanted to, one could drive and the rest of you takes a long rest.
No,
We can
but
do it
Nix
with
could take a.
Making the watches.
Nix wouldn't be able to take a long rest because he would be. They
Oh.
would be driving the bike.
Oh, that's true. I meant in the big vehicle, I guess.
I say we camp out and for a long rest and then make our way there. It's going to take a long while to get there. Better not stack as much exhaustion on everybody.
How are you guys on food and water?
I can just keep making good berries.
What about water?
I have create destroy water as well.
Do you cast that?
I can cast it if we need it.
The good berries get you hydrated, right? It said the spell.
Think so?
How many berries do we still have left over from the last time?
They only last 24 hours, but
Mhm.
I don't think it's been 24 hours.
But remember,
think so.
Mav was asking last time around for the creation of the spell. You eat 5 berries
10.
for each of us first, and then have the next berries at the end of the spell. That
Mhm.
way, we've got 1 spell slot for 2 sets of berries.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that is right. It was sustain enough nourishment to sustain a creature. They don't specify that it's food or water, so
Right.
that's both.
So confirm we're going to take a long rest.
Probably should be a good idea.
I'm going to go ahead and cast Animate Dead to re-up my timer,
All right.
and then cast Lemon's Tiny Hut to give us a place to hunker.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put down the hearth of moonlight and shadow in the middle of the hut so we get advantage on stealth and perception.
I'll move you guys off the hill. There we go.
Mhm.
Because I have it on. I have the big map really zoomed in on the overlay, and Lulu
Right.
token is where you guys are.
Mhm.
When you guys take your long rest and you got your hut and everything, we'll say something happens during your long rest. So, you know what? I'm gonna roll something, and then what if I roll? We'll say who goes. Okay, Luis, roll me a d20 during your watch. Because we'll assume just everybody takes turns or something.
Just the D20?
Just the d20. Totally not
5.
using these.
No. Understand.
Fun you should ask. It's the Avernus dice set. They came with little cards with little fun tables on them.
Oh yeah.
That's how you found Elizabeth.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And how in the muted episode we got the one thing.
While on watch, you're surprised you didn't notice this before. Just sitting there in the middle of this wasteland, maybe 100 feet away from your hut, is a banquet table covered with food and drink fit for a king. This couldn't have been the worst spot. This is the worst spot it could have shown up, because now all of you are immediately like, that's a trap.
I mean, it definitely is a trap. I'm gonna.
Don't even need the good admirals to tell you that one.
I'm just gonna shoot a harpoon from the beacon.
Okay, roll to hit.
You tell me how that thing works because
I think it's +9 to hit. And then 2d8 plus.
it's a natural 20.
Natural 20. The
Yes.
harpoon goes And if any of you play Dark Souls 3 with the giant with the arrow, just one of the table was stone, and you broke it in half, hit it straight in the middle. All the food scatters everywhere. Smells amazing.
That evil food is not gonna bother anyone else.
It still smells amazing when downwind.
Huh,
But
what was
besides that,
noise?
nothing happens. You look over, and there's a broken table with a harpoon straight through it.
Oh, rolls back over.
Raka
Actually-
bolts up too. She looks over at this, goes,
I'm gonna roll for this. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. So you hit the table, and it breaks in the middle, and one of the loaves of bread on the very end catapults, and it goes 30 feet towards you guys. So it's 70 feet away. But that's the closest piece of food. Like the table exploded. Like the food went like everywhere. A few hours later, while you guys are still resting, I'll say Richtofen is awake at this point. A deer, of all things, prances up towards the food, and it grabs a piece of bread, and you hear the bread scream, and the deer doesn't seem to mind at all, and it just picks it up, and it looks at you, and it's like a 20-point antlered buck. It's ridiculous. It's got reddish fur. The horns are black and like glossy, almost like obsidian.
Is this like a abyssal deer or something?
It's an infernal deer, yes. And as it eats the bread, every time it goes, you swear you hear screaming from the bread, and then it prances off.
So comfortable.
Spy was a sandwich.
For some reason I can't. For some reason I can help but imagine the deer with hands from Adventure Time.
Oh no, please no, that's Abyss. That's Abyss.
That's the freak deer.
Abyss
Wait.
is body horror. We're not going.
How far is the deer? About 70 feet?
It was when it grabbed the bread and just stared at your hut. It can't see you through your hut. It just saw the hut.
Because if you leave the hut, then it goes away.
Yes. And you can't interact with anything outside it while you're in it.
Mm.
Both you and the people you allow in it.
I was about to say I was willing to have my archers go there and get us some meat.
I mean,
I,
the skeletons still can. You can just have them outside your dome and fire.
Yes.
Okay, roll to hit.
20 and a 16.
you're just
Both hit.
rolling up throughout this entire place.
13 piercing.
The deer falls. And your skeletons drag back its corpse. You guys finish your long rest, and you see two skeletons with what appears to be a deer with a red fur and obsidian-like antlers. 20-point buck.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
We're going to go ahead
What in
and field
the-
dress that thing and cook its meat.
Do we know if this thing is even edible?
We're going to find out.
Group
Like-
survival check. If I'm assuming the whole group's going to work together to try to skin the deer and see if it's
I
even
want to
usable.
just. I
I
want to
want the
just be
horns.
like. I want to just know if this thing is actually edible. It'll
Yeah,
kill us.
That'll go with the survival. That'll be a survival check anyway.
Sans Nix.
This is at disadvantage because this is survival in hell, which you're not native to.
17.
This turned to more fun than I thought it would. This is just a little side thing.
Soft. That's a 21 for me.
Ooh, wow, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, well, you're a druid. What am I saying?
Proficient in survival.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Anyone else do anything?
I'm snitching the antlers to make a crossbow out of that.
Survival at disadvantage.
Oh. 10.
It is rather crude, but you do get the antlers off, and you can use them however you want. They appear to be as hard as steel. Are you pretty sure they're made of obsidian?
Kick-ass crossbow bolts with those, or actual crossbow.
I will say they are considered magical. They don't give any. They're not like +1 or anything. But
Okay.
if a creature normally is resistant to non-magical, that negates it.
Yeah.
Out of character, obsidian as arrowheads is wicked. It just that stuff breaks off inside, and you got shards stuck in you.
Oh yeah, it's very lawful evil stone.
Oh yeah.
That's why I went with it.
It's just volcanic glass. What's the worst that could happen?
But yeah, the 21. Does that tell me if this thing is edible at all?
It is quite edible. In fact, you're able to fully carve it off. You get infernal deer hide. You get let me see how much. 70 pounds of meat. Do you do
Okay.
anything with the bones?
Being a druid and having worked with animal bones before, do I know if I could use this as like for weaponry or for armor or for like just? Actually, could I use this for spell components?
Probably.
Go full
Excellent.
7 days and make a bone knife out of it.
Real
I actually have a spell that
Besides-
requires.
Besides the antlers, the rest of it seemed to match how you've had deer before, including the bone marrow. Since you're doing the survival is more of an investigation, I'll say you took like one of the ribs or something and you like cracked it open, and inside it's a marrow, just like a normal deer bone structure.
All right. So yeah, gonna take some of the bones, and did you say I could maybe make weapon or armor out of it? besides
Yeah,
spell components?
crude stuff,
Okay,
like
it wouldn't
spear
have like
or club or
right. Well, it won't have like any magical bonuses or anything like that because it's just bones.
just like the I'm gonna say just like the bolt. It will negate non-magical resistance.
All right, sweet. So yeah, gonna take a few of those just for stuff, and Sparker just looks at it and goes, "I think I could use this for something."
That deer is not
Well-
on to strange encounters, by the way.
Right.
The
So, yeah.
destroyed table of food is.
So yeah, what should I mark that down in my inventory as?
Infernal deer, whatever parts you have. Because they don't state it outright in 5e, but everything that you have in a material plane, there's an infernal version of it in hell.
Nice. Oh God, so that means somewhere out here there's infernal penguins.
So that means you can hunt for game here, clearly.
Nice.
The racks in the back of the vehicle, are we
Wait.
able to make dragon racks for jerky?
Do you want to
Actually-
try to make jerky?
I had a better idea for the horns. If we're not going to use all of it for arrowheads, let's put it on the front. Mount them on the front.
There's a giant maw in the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
like
sure
we
it's
can't,
pretty-
we can't mount them higher, so that it looks like we have like a horned like face on the front. Go full redneck with this.
I mean, our vehicle is pretty huge. I don't think the antlers will look ridiculously small compared to the whole thing.
No,
Yeah.
we're going to need to find some abyssal cattle for that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
You're pretty sure if you wanted antlers on there, you would have to have somebody like metal mounts and weld it on.
Right.
Maybe Mad Maggie's Kenku's or one of the smiths at the Wandering Emporium might be able to do that. Or if one of you have blacksmithing tools and you're proficient.
Yeah, that was just a little like random thought.
Okay. So you
But,
guys get your
uh,
long rest. You have your deer parts. I'll say you guys, it feels like a whole day went by actually. And you guys get another long rest, thus fully negating Koi's 2 levels of exhaustion, we'll say.
Right.
With it being so hot in hell, would it be possible to dry out the meat quicker?
No, but with the survival check that Braca got, I'll say Braca figured out a way of somehow maybe not smoking it per se, but finding an area inside the Infernal War Machine to dry it.
Right.
So out of the 70 pounds of usable meat, how much would be left for jerky?
I'll say half, so 35.
Okay, that's still
Because
decent
water
amount of
water
provisions.
takes up a good amount.
Yeah,
We're gonna need a lot of water to eat all that jerky.
hey, it's sustenance.
So, 2 days go by. You got a lot of infernal deer jerky. It took quite a while to smoke. It seems fire resistant.
That's all right. I'd say we mount up and head out towards side quest.
Let's go. Do the Wachichi thing.
You guys head off. Travel for another day or two. I'm changing up the rules a little bit. I have to roll every hour for exhaustion. It's getting tedious.
Right.
I'm going to say if you're an Infernal War Machine, you don't need to worry about it. So you guys are fine.
Because we're not physically traveling.
Yeah.
Machines are doing the traveling for us.
That's why I'm like, this seems silly that Koi is like, I'm so tired from sitting.
I'm so tired of
Yeah.
being sit down.
Yeah.
Getting cabin fever.
Are we there yet? I'm tired.
I think Brock is the only one that hasn't rolled on one of these yet, so roll me a d20 as you guys are driving around the volcano.
Okay. So D20. Natural 20.
Ooh.
Holy crap.
You find a doll and it's crying. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Fuck off.
Oh, hey, we got a friend for Elizabeth.
She were still conscious.
I'll get her back.
A glint catches your eye as you guys are driving by.
Just slowly gonna just like hang. Because I'm sitting on the back on the wrecking ball, just gonna focus on it.
It's getting further and further away. It's now out of sight.
Huh.
As you guys are in a vehicle moving pretty fast.
It's odd.
Faces pass and we're homebound.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna keep vigil up
One of the skeletons plays that doo-doo-doo-doo-doo part, but it's xylophone on their ribs.
on the ribs. I was gonna say. Perfect.
And Lulu's the one singing. She's going to be your bard / radio. You know what? Why not? Okay, she got a lot better on singing that time.
Nice. It's a lot better mood. It's a new day.
Yeah, she got a 15. So right.
As far as you guys can tell, Nyx's mood has not improved.
Right.
Lulu is being that like overly bubbly friend who like sees that you are visibly the most upset, so she's like targeting the joy and happiness more at you, and it's probably being like counterintuitive.
At some point, Braca, can Braca notice this as we're traveling, or would it be like perception? Notice that
she does not
it's
hide
working?
She
Is
does
it-
not.
To notice that it's not working.
I don't think Nyx hides it either.
At some point, Braca's going like, Lulu, you got a sec?
Yes.
Oh, wait, just gonna distract her a little bit from Nyx and just be like, I was actually wondering about she's just hesitant to bring it up. Like she just points to her head, like the symbol that you put on Armin's helmet. What was that?
Oh. I cast ceremony on it.
Oh,
I'm not sure if his body will come back,
I see.
but at least then I'll make sure it doesn't for a week.
I see.
He seemed different than most of the devils around here.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Seems stronger.
Zariel brought him back. She probably could do it again.
Right? He seems stronger than the other ones we've run into here.
Hey. Maybe whoever wants this phylactery will let us use it. Maybe we could use it to help Zariel somehow.
Maybe. If anything, I think the person who wants it wants to use Kochichi as a weapon.
Right.
An undying giant demon lord under their control. That seems like a super weapon.
I thought it was a human.
He mutated into a demon.
Yeah, but it's giant. I mean, I know giants worship him, but
Light Sky, he mutated into a giant.
Yes.
Mhm.
okay.
He was like, it's difficult. He used to be categorized as giant, and in 5e he's now categorized as demon.
It's
And he
complicated.
was originally human. So he eventually, like, every time he died, some part of him would change, and eventually warped him enough that they just made him giant class creature in 3rd edition or something.
Right.
Or 2nd edition, I think, is when he was introduced. Anyway, so
Yeah. So
you eventually arrive around the other side of this humongous volcano. This is the biggest mountain you've seen, let alone a volcano. It seems to be constantly erupting with lava. There's a river of lava that goes into the river Styx. Who knows how many miles where the river Styx is, but it seems to be going that direction. And there is a bridge that seems to be made of this infernal iron that goes over top of the lava that you guys had the vehicle go over at one point.
Nice.
Eventually, though, you arrive at the place that the imp described. You see a giant skull half buried into the wasteland.
Hang on.
The
I've seen
jaw,
this story
the jaw
before.
is like wide open. Yeah, no, great description. My bad. So, Goro's demon is like they're almost like I don't know, almost like a cattle skull is almost what this looks like, but a lot wider, and it's the size of a house. And the jaw is open wide, and it seems to be that's the doorway. As you guys get near.
It just gave me the best flashback to my childhood. If I don't know if everybody's ever watched Brave Star, but there is
Yes.
a demon, the demon stampede. Yeah, the giant cow demon stampede. Yeah, just reminded me of that.
Oh man, if you guys found Betsy here, that'd be nuts. Betsy was a shotgun for this. Anyway, so
If we found 4040 here, that'd be nuts.
yeah.
No, 3030. His name is 3030.
What's this Brave Star thing? It seems
Check
like
it
I
out.
should
It's
know
it's
it.
Brave
it's
Brave Star? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's
Brave
Two
Star.
hours.
It's like the only show from like the was it 80s? 90s is when I remember it.
I remember kind of from the 90s.
The main
'cause I
character is a Native American.
And it goes with a horse with robot arms and a shotgun. It's the
Yeah.
most retroverse thing I've ever seen.
Right.
Yeah, you should watch it then. Get some inspiration.
I think it's from the same creators as Thundercats, Silverhawks, and Tiger Sharks.
But he's very like the totem barbarian, where he's got like a spirit animal for different powers and stuff.
Eyes of the hawk, ears of the wolf, strength of the
Okay.
bear, and speed of the puma.
I'm sorry, I was just like amazed by the
It's a great show. I loved it.
The horse guy might be hard to understand at times
Yeah.
because he's very over the top. Like, hey, I'm a horse. So he's just like Brave Star for like
Very
everything.
very heavy cowboy accent. Yeah.
The horse has a cowboy accent.
Everyone in this space universe is a cowboy. The horse is a cyborg horse.
They're literally space cowboys. It's great.
and they're little prairie dog people.
Anywho, giant skull like the
Yeah.
Titan skull from Doom 2016.
Yeah.
Funny.
Giant hell skull.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume we sort of like stop outside, right?
It's like a cave or
It looks big enough that you guys could walk through the gap in between the teeth, but not big enough for the
The demon grinder to go through.
yeah.
Don't test him. Rick Telvin will try to drive that thing through the teeth.
don't.
Get close and dismount.
Okay.
Yep, hop out.
As you walk into, actually, wait. What's the marching order? Who's all walking into the mall?
Before we get in, or before we go out, as Nix dismounts, they're gonna leave Elizabeth on the bike, but throw a little like blanket or cover over her.
Right.
Okay. Actually,
So
that infernal deer hide will probably work pretty well for that.
Yeah.
Now you're super cowboy. You got a bike. You got deer hide on your bike.
oh yeah.
He's edgy and sad.
Yeah, and you're all sad. You know, perfect. It's cowboy.
Jesus.
Anyway, so as you all walk in,
Yeah. Marching order.
You see a sign, and it tells you to knock 3 times.
Nyx, being first up in the party, just bangs on the door 3 times real hard.
As you do that, the interior of the skull seems to open up as a secondary mouth that's inside it, almost like a xenomorph alien. Like you went in through the first mouth, and now here's the second one. Opens up, so it's...
Nyx
And-
gives no shits and just walks right in.
And you immediately smell like incense, and you hear, I guess, almost like gypsy-like music. Nyx walks in. Lulu follows.
All behind them.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Inside, you see. It appears that there is a big. It's a big single room that seems to be the interior of the rib cage on this giant skeleton. A bunch of knickknacks lie everywhere. I'm gonna roll on my table because I can.
Nice.
Probably the thing that stands out the most is a small toboggan with the name Rosebud painted on it.
I thought it was supposed to be a sled.
It
Yeah.
is a type of sled.
It has written on it Rosebud in paint. You see like crystal spheres, random skulls and shelves, a bunch of other knickknacks you'd expect. You do also see a small table where there seems to be a chess set there, and the chess set appears to be, instead of like the black set and the white set, one is the devil set and one's the demon set. The devil set, you see that the king is Asmodeus himself. And you see on the demon side appears to be almost a devilish looking like figure who has 6 fingers on each hand. He has like Darth Maul's like crown of horns going on. And he seems to be sitting on a throne with a curved greatsword, looking all smug.
Religion check?
Arcana or religion, I guess.
Right.
People do worship both.
Yeah, that makes sense. 7. She didn't really know much about this stuff.
A 7?
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, no idea.
I would do an Arcana check as well.
Okay.
Show me potato salad. Oh, 26.
That is the Demon Prince Grost. He's Mr. Rule 34 in the demon universe, pretty much.
Oh.
He does it with a lot of things.
So, Slanesh.
Actually, yeah, he's probably the closest thing to Slaanesh in D&D. But he's not, but it's very clearly a he,
Mm-hmm.
unlike Slaanesh.
Yes.
Slaanesh is very gender fluid. Anyway,
Yeah.
as you investigate the chess set, a little closet pops up from underneath the table and it hisses at you, Richtofen. Tiny little CR0 demon thing. And then that's when you all hear, oh, appears I have some guests. And walking out from behind one of the tapestries is a beautiful woman with ivory-like pale skin, but with long black hair. That's coincidentally covering her front, as she doesn't appear to be wearing anything currently.
Your door was open, so we decided to show ourselves in.
Wow, that I see. And you notice her nails are painted black and they're extra long. They're like a few inches out. And she waves them around to cast a spell. And Lulu needs a charisma save,
Oh.
which she rolls an @2 for.
Oh, no.
Immediately, Lulu's eyes turn black, and she flies right up next to this lady.
Oh, dear. Not this again.
And she's like, haven't seen a celestial in a while. Interesting to see one in here of all places. As she goes to scratch Lulu's chin, and Lulu seems to appreciate it.
Marika's really uncomfortable with that. She's like, We actually came because we need some help with something.
For your friend.
For one of our friends here. Just angles her head, like nods towards Richtofen.
Oh, and what help do you need with?
Looking for a phylactery
Oh, which one, Vecnus?
for Kamabucha.
Coach Braca just rolls her eyes. Kochichi.
Kamehameha. The great king of Hawaii, Kamehameha.
Yes, he lives. He still lives. Yeah, Braca rolls her eyes, then just goes, Kochichi. We're looking for the phylactery of Kochichi.
Oh, I don't know where that's at.
Insight. Yeah, probably beat me. It's 11.
I mean, you're not sure.
Braca just sort of crossed her arms like, that's odd. We're told that you might be the one to know where it would be.
By whom?
A little imp told us.
That now has piercings.
Oh. I assume that was probably Bell. Sent him one of his little messengers to you. Probably wants to use the Demon Lord to distract Sariel.
Not so much. Apparently our macabre friend here made a deal to save someone's life. And
that
as
is-
payment.
Which is odd for me to begin with, but still, here we are.
Richtofen, we've had this discussion before.
Yes, she hasn't heard it.
Well,
Regardless,
I do not know where this phylactery is at. Only one person knows where it's at. Not even Kochichi himself knows where it's at.
and this one person would be
My former master, Baba Yaga.
and where might we find them?
Oh, she has a hut. Travels through the plains. I could teach you a ritual that would bring it here in Avernus.
That.
But a certain book has been stolen from me, and I'd like to get it back. I think that you walking in here was not a coincidence. If you could get back my book from Mordekainen, I'll teach you the ritual.
Why does this begin to sound like a quest chain?
I can teleport you. I can teleport you right to his Tower of Urm, located here in Avernus.
We're already on a quest.
Oh,
We can make a deal, but you have to cast animate object forever on a doll we have.
I think the deal is that we get her the book so that she...
I know, but it's still like, it's not enough payment, only the ritual.
okay, how about this? I also give back your little celestial friend here.
That's good.
What?
Give her back? I think you're going to just do that anyway.
Richtofen, she could probably kill us all. Just
Why-
with a glance.
why-
Just look.
Why would I do that? That'd be too easy. Be quite
Or
boring
there's
too.
that. Yeah, or there's that too.
But in any
You know,
case, do you accept?
It's either that or, yeah. Obviously, we do.
Turns to look towards the door, eyeballing how big it is for a vehicle.
Oh, your vehicle won't fit in here. It does not have permission to come in here. As you
But I-
think that, and you don't say it out loud, she replies to you, Richtofen.
Would you like to step outside for a moment? Anyway, okay, so
For a wizard, you're not too smart.
smarter than you think. So, what book do we need to recover for you?
Oh, it's just this little black book of mine.
Necronomicon Ex Mortis?
No, a Book of Vile Darkness.
Oh.
A Necronomicon is just some scribbles from that tome.
So, who took it, or where'd you lose it?
She just said Mordenkainen. We know who Mordenkainen is.
Oh, come on. Everybody knows who Mordenkainen is.
Out of character,
Oh,
we know.
I would say everybody but Koi would just know innately just because you cast magic. But I think even Koi's probably even heard of this famous wizard.
I mean, I've been out of the oceans for like a month, so
Yeah,
I
and there's,
don't know how much Tridents know about Mordenkainen.
well, he kind of dabbles in everyone's affairs at once. So even the Tritons, which normally are very reclusive, probably have had some interaction in their history with Mordenkainen.
So, what did the great interloper see fit to take this from you? Why did he see fit to take this from you?
Something about balance and multiverse and yada yada.
I see.
He just makes up those kind of excuses just to do whatever he wants.
All right, where is he?
He's right here. As she snaps her fingers, everybody can give me wisdom saving throws if they don't voluntarily accept the spell.
Braga's just going to just let it be because she knows she needs this to get Lulu back. She does not like the idea of her being under this person's control.
19.
Okay. You fail, as you all are teleported right next to this giant tower.
Oh, well, that was convenient.
She cast teleport, and you weren't willing, so.
Oh dear.
Let me get the flavor text for the tower. Whee. Almost there, I swear.
I'm really enjoying this, by the way. This is awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's that? Here we go. Jeez. I forgot. Everything's laid out a little different in this adventure compared to the other 5e ones. Took me a bit. Anyway. An iron tower rises atop of an island in a lake of boiling blood. No windows penetrate the tower's walls, and its only visible doors open into a high balcony. Red lightning crackles constantly between two horns of metal on the tower's roof. For those at home, changing over to Mordenkainen's Tower of Urm. Gonna double check, make sure I'm in the right spot. There it is.
By any chance, do we know if Mordenkainen's a good guy?
No one knows for sure. Most people say no. So, as you teleport there, you notice underneath you that seems to be burned into the dust on the ground is a pentagram. If any of you know Sylvan, it has Sylvan symbols. And, yeah. Do you attempt to go in the tower stealthily, or do you guys just march right up to it? Because there are doors at the bottom.
I mean,
Braga just looks at the group, just like, well, should we go in the front door? Do we
we're
go?
stealing a book, right?
We could maybe bargain with him for it.
Well, let's
Really
go
wanna
knock on the door.
bargain with anybody else in this place.
I mean, if maybe they'll say, yeah, of course, we'll give you the book, but now you have to go and slay 10,000 deers. I mean, this seems to have no end. I think we'd better steal the book.
We could argue the fact that we're doing this to help preserve balance. We get the book back for her. We get the thing from
Okay,
Belle.
I'm calling bullshit. We're doing this to save Lulu only because she's our most powerful ally and the only celestial we've seen down here.
True, and we're also doing this to save Richtofen.
You know, sitting outside the tower are a bunch of fiends. Quite a few of them are these green-skinned, burly, humanoidish-looking dudes, but they got like goat feet, and they have battle axes that they currently have holstered, and big leathery wings. Besides them, you also see these weird four-armed insectoid humanoids that have tridents. And they seem to just be sitting outside this tower like they're waiting for something.
Are they all marching around going OEO?
No.
All right.
Do they look like they're just
Hey.
sentries, or they're waiting for someone else?
They seem like they're waiting for someone else. One of the big green guys gets up, notices you guys, and it's like, "Hey, pike off, Burks. We were getting the job from Mordekainen first."
We're not here to get a job from him. We're here to talk to him.
I'm sure he'll show his face in a few days or so. I mean, his tower did just teleport in about 10 minutes ago.
Have any of you had already knocked on the door?
And he looks back at the rest of them, and they all start laughing. And he is like, "Knock on the door. Go ahead, be my guest. How rude of me." Sorry, you're clearly smarter than me. I should have knocked on the door, but since you outsmarted me, you should go ahead and knock on the door.
Random question out of character. Did the skeletons come with us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a skeleton. The skeleton knock on the door?
One of the minotaurs knocks it up with the axe.
Okay. It knocks on the door, and as it does, it opens up a little bit from the force of the axe.
Continue to push the door open.
Like a Dark Souls door, it's like, and then it's open.
Hello?
No. No.
Okay, hold up. I have to ask: was that Mav's or Richtofen's echo, or was that somebody calling back?
That was his echo.
Okay, just wanted
Where-
to make sure there, because that'd be a smartass.
What are all the infernals doing when this happens? What are their
They're
reactions?
they're watching.
They're just watching?
They seem to have the same as you, where they're just seeing what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I'm going inside.
Okay.
Do you have your skeletons going first, or do you go in first?
Archers in the rear, Tors up front. We're moving in.
Okay. As they walk in, you hear the bones jangle as the first Minotaur skeleton bumps into nothing. It like goes to walk forward and just.
What in the name of Acme is this? Arcana check.
Okay. The skeleton continues walking, trying to walk forward, but there's no movement.
21 and halt.
You're pretty sure this is a wall of force.
It's just NPC walking into nothing.
Now our enemy is
But-
the Sith Lord.
But with your Arcana check, you realize that this wall of force seems to it's not blocking the door per se. Like you got in like 10 feet and then just dunk. It appears to veer off to the right. And that's when you quickly realize that it seems to be a maze made out of invisible walls of force.
You have dispel magic. No, you have remove curse.
Oh, you also know Dispel Magic would not get rid of a wall of force. Only Disintegrate would. Or if the
Now-
spellcaster dismissed it.
Would detect magic reveal the walls?
Yes.
Detect magic.
Alright, you detect magic and you focus on it. And whatever school wall of force is, you just sense everywhere. And you can see these clear spots in the weave where the walls are. You're also detecting other spells as well in this maze.
What am I detecting?
Oh, some things are necromants, some things are transmutation, a lot of evocation.
Are they traps?
If it has evocation in it, it's more than likely a trap. Yes.
The closest one you're to is evocation, and it seems to be a very strong aura, and it appears to be some kind of glyph on one of the walls.
Would I be able to know what it is with Arcana?
You can roll Arcana or Investigation. I'll say advantage because you can see it with Detect Magic.
17.
I'm pretty sure this is a Glyph of Warding. Glyph of Wardings are like a trigger trap. If you get within a certain range of them, it will either shoot off an explosion of a certain damage type, or it will shoot off a spell that has been cast into it.
How far
Very
away are we?
expensive, but very good spells. I would say you were 30 feet away when you're examining it with your Detect Magic. Your Minotaur is about 20 feet away, and it's to the right.
All right, we're gonna halt, pull back to the maximum effective range of the archer, and let loose an arrow at it.
Ooh, let's see what that does.
So, what is the range of the longbows?
You would be well in range.
I mean, out of if the effect of whatever happens, 150 feet. Okay.
Oh, your skeleton would have to be at least 30 feet away from it, but it's fine. It would be out of range of the glyph.
Okay.
Whatever goes off, it's 20-foot radius. So, you would know that from your Arcana.
Mhm.
Shoots an arrow. Tink. Bounces off the wall of force. Doesn't seem to affect the glyph at all.
Rocker's just gonna walk outside and look up at the tower. Does it look like there's any windows or anything up there? Or is it just like sheer wall? Like Dr. Fate's tower?
Give me a perception check.
Natural 20. So that is a 25.
You notice that there are a lot of random little scrape marks here and there, especially at the higher parts of this probably around 100-foot tall tower. It appears to be from some huge or larger sized creatures' claws. Probably something flying from the weird angles that these claws are at. Like maybe the claw marks are from something perching itself up there. You see many different foot and handholds that you could grab onto to climb up, and you do see small windows. They're not big enough for you to fit through, unfortunately.
Right. Do they look like they'd just be big enough for like a small, like familiar to fit through, like a bird or something?
A bird probably could fit through.
All right. I will wild shape into an owl and fly up there because I can do that now because I'm level 8. I can fly now.
Hooray!
Hooray
Well, that's
for
going
fly
on.
speeds.
Cast a firebolt at that the wall.
Okay. I'm just making sure I'm running the glyph of warding correctly. Okay, you fire it at it and nothing happens. You shoot your spell and it does not get rid of the glyph, and it does no damage to the wall. If you roll an intelligence check, I'll say you could find your way through the maze and avoid these glyphs. Because you quickly notice that the glyph seems to, in a way, block one passageway, but then there's another passageway to the left.
Here's a quick question:
Mm-hmm.
Is since I can see the walls, is there a invisible ceiling?
Yes.
Do the walls go all the way to said ceiling?
They go all the way to the ceiling, and there are walls of force as the ceiling.
So I can safely navigate the maze.
I wouldn't say safely, but yes, you could navigate through the maze.
Anyway, so follow me. We'll start pathfinding.
Sorry, I'm
Wrong
thinking-
Edition for that.
Yeah, I was about to make a Pathfinder joke, but anyway.
Sorry, I had to beat you to it.
Everyone else, I assume, is following Richtofen, and Richtofin's like in the front, guiding everybody.
Except Braca, because Braca flips to the window as an owl.
Yes. I guess we'll move up to Braca then. So, Strixa, because Strixa's an owl. I don't know. I tried too hard on that. Braca
It
owl
works. It works.
flies up into the window, and your owl head just barely fits through.
It's gonna just
And you're-
shimmy through.
And you're floofy, because owls are always very floofy feathered. So
Mhm.
it's just like you get through, and your head just like. Poof!
Yep.
And you
Like Archimedes from Sword and Stone.
and you look around with your owl eyes and give me a perception check at advantage.
What do your owl eyes see?
Do I use my perception or the owl's perception?
Because you're a
Remember
druid,
fellowship.
it's yours.
Ooh, very nice.
But if the owl's perception is better than yours, you use it.
Let's take a look. Does owls have? I believe owls have what's called keen senses that gives them advantage.
It gives you advantage on sight. Yes, sight-based
Yeah,
perception.
sight and hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Owl's perception.
I'll keep both in mind with your advantage roll.
Yeah, my perception is better than the owl's. $22.
You hear very subtly what sounds like a few spells going off, but they're always in a very consistent manner.
Hmm.
It's like the same noise, but like once every minute or something, you know? With your eyes, you can see that this window goes into this circular hallway that seems to be, you assume, is connected to itself, and there are doors on the outside walls of the hallway, circular hallway. You pretty sure the sounds are coming from those rooms. Each room has something different going on inside.
Right. Is there any way for me to wiggle through as an owl?
The doors, unfortunately, do not have a small enough gap on them.
No,
that
I
you
mean
could
the
wiggle through.
window. The window. Could I fit
Oh,
through
yeah,
the
yeah.
window?
Once you get your head through, you can get the rest of yourself through.
All right, going to just get in, just de-wild shape, and just look around.
Okay.
Do like the doors have labels on them, or
Yes, but that's when we'll zoom back down to the bottom of the tower,
all right?
as Richtofen needs to give me an intelligence saving throw,
Oh,
as you are navigating through this maze.
okay. What is my intelligence? I'm intelligent enough to remember my intelligence. Oh, okay, I'm good. 24.
After about 10 minutes, Richtofen navigates you all through this maze. And you guide them through almost like you're a ranger that's been going through the same path in the woods for your entire life.
Impressive.
AKA flawlessly, without hesitation. You're just like, this way, that way, this way, that, we're there.
I'm a dragon on a mission.
A dragon born.
Born on a mission. And so you eventually reach the stairway that seems to lead up to the next floor. And as you guys walk up there, you see that the stairs do continue, but there is a door on the side.
Can we check and see if it's a trap?
Check for traps.
Investigation. or perception.
$23.
You see that there is a glyph of warding on this door.
I do see if there's one.
Yes. You are all definitely within the 20-foot radius, but it has not triggered.
Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
You know that glyphs of warding always have a specific trigger. Like this one might be if someone opens the door without saying this word, then the glyph goes off. Or if any non-orcs go through this doorway, it goes off.
Or if anyone not named Mordenkainen goes to this doorway, it goes off.
Yes. Also, I apologize for the cat if you hear the cat crying in the background. It is totally not Mordekainen's familiar, I swear.
No.
You can't prove that.
You think you could, if you have Dispel magic, you could dispel the glyph.
Don't. That is.
Also,
Sure.
another fun fact: being a wizard, and you have you're the utility spellcaster. You could try to activate the trigger remotely, aka using a mage hand to open the door.
I'm gonna mage hand the door open.
Okay, you move 20 feet away from it, mage hand the door open. Not even locked. Just... You can see inside it clearly is a library.
Well, time to get more books for you.
And that's when you hear inside. Who's there?
Announce ourselves.
We are the Spanish Inquisition.
Coming up to the door
Sorry.
is the Mordenkainen himself. A stern, bald man with a neatly trimmed black goatee beard and a penetrating stare and red wizard robes. So he looks at your party. Yes, it's Murdy Curdy to Twitch chat. What brings you into my tower? Nothing
Didn't
good,
say-
is considering you're trespassing.
Well, we knocked and no one answered.
Hmm.
Technically, we just opened the door and nobody gave a shit to stop.
I have to work on that maze. I haven't made it complex enough, I guess. Well, in any case, you've proven yourselves quite ample to allow a bit of conversation. Once again, I ask, why are you here?
Tell them that we're looking for the book.
The Book of Vile Darkness, a source of all evil in the multiverse? And why should I give it to you?
Sorry.
We're asking nicely. And I would explain the reason behind it to free a celestial that's being held captive.
Well, for the greater balance of the multiverse, it is better that that book stays held. It is a greater balance to have that book away from Igwilf than for her to have a celestial in her possession. Give me a persuasion check.
I mean, if you can give us a way to free Lulu, and
While doing the persuasion check, can I explain the overall mission objective of what we're trying to do for the good of over evil?
Yep.
18.
Let me double check.
Persuasion's not one of my strong points.
Okay, you mentioned something about how, we'll say your persuasion was you discussing how important Lulu is and how she could actually alter how things are in hell. And that you would actually balance out moralities by her helping get rid of Zariel would actually be a greater good than the evil that would happen if Igwolf had the book, and your persuasion passed. So,
Yeah, what he said.
yeah, you're both wizards, so you're just like wizard arcane stuff, and he's like, oh, wizard arcane stuff, and it's like
Wizards wizarding.
and he's just like, fine, follow me, do not touch anything. And he leaves the library with a book still in his hand. You're pretty sure it's a spell book. Closed. And he closes the door behind him and he starts walking up the stairs. You
Follows.
okay. As you follow, we go back to Braca. Braca, you're upstairs and you hear a random different noises from each of these doors.
Mm-hmm.
Each one has a label on it. What language would Mordenkainen put it in? Yeah, whatever. He puts it in common. You see the first door right in front of you says Bigby's Hand on a gold plate on the top of the doorframe. Each one has a gold plate on top of the doorframe. Right next to that door says Find Familiar. The door after that says Find Steed.
A lot of stuff.
Etc., etc.
Things. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Are there any things that look familiar to her?
You see. Okay, here's the list of the doors. Each one says a different spell on it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Bigby's Hand, Find Familiar, Find Steed, Find the Path, Fog Cloud, Hellish Rebuke, Mage Hand, Rory's Telepathic Bond. Message and Sending are both the same door.
That's interesting. She's going to take a look in the one that says Fog Cloud really quick. Well, she's going to look at it like she's going to go at it, but she's like, it's not what we're here for. Or the last time.
And the last door has no label on it.
I wonder if I have anything here.
As you debate that, you hear footsteps coming upstairs.
Gonna look over where it's at.
Do you attempt to hide anywhere? I mean, it's an open hallway now I think about it.
Right. There's no real way to hide. I could really wild shape him. I could wild shape it to a mouse, but somebody like, oh, what's this random mouse doing here?
Unless you hide in one of the rooms.
No, I'm gonna be up front and she's just gonna just stay there.
Okay.
Just look over.
That's when you see Mordenkainen. And he looks at you with a piercing stare, and he pulls out a wand. And he starts to cast a spell.
She's like, oh, wait. The guy, or is everybody else with them?
And everybody else, you notice Mordenkainen do this. And you hear Braca.
Oh, she's with us.
Whoa. You found him.
Whatever magic was on his wand dissipates. He says, follow me.
Braca just walks by him and is like, first off, sir, I really apologize for so rudely coming in unannounced. This is really wouldn't have been in here if it wasn't really important. I'm assuming they all filled you in, and just looks at the group like, yeah.
Yes, your dragonborn Rectofin has filled me in.
Okay, good. All right. You know what's at stake. All right. Thank goodness.
And
she just backs off awkwardly.
He leads you upstairs and to what appears to be an empty room. When he goes to the middle of the room, taps his right heel into the ground on a specific tile 3 times, and then in the tile in front of that one, it lifts up and you see a pedestal. And inside the pedestal, you see what appears to be some kind of crystalline case, and inside it, you see a black book. It seems to have you're not sure what it is about the book, but you just immediately sense, even through the crystal glass, sheer malice from it. But also a lot of power coming from it as well. He says, oh, what would he say? What would be a good keyword for Mordenkainen? You know what? Why not? He says Gygax. And as he says that word, the crystal shatters and disappears into nothing. Puts on a white glove and picks up the book. And he walks over to Richtofen. I should say it's a tome. And he goes to hand it to you.
I take the tome.
As you grab it, he holds on to it as you start to pull back with it. And he says, you better know what you're doing with this book.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
And that's when he lets go.
We kind of would be regardless.
Shut up.
Well, I think I've had enough company to last me for my trip to hell, at least. Now, if you excuse me, I have a few Yugoloths to discuss contracts with.
I was going to say, you have quite a line down there.
And he casts teleport on all of you.
I was about to say, can you kind of send us back the same way we got here?
And you're right outside Igwulf's abode, almost like he knew it was there the whole time.
I will puke.
Did.
Richtofen. This
Yes.
book is the most powerful spell book that you've ever laid your eyes upon.
I would not peek into it.
There is no latch on it.
Yes, I would definitely be looking through it.
I do not look through it. It's not locked. Okay, I looked through it.
No, I said I would not look through it.
Oh, double negatives. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, let me double check here. You notice that most of the words in here are written in blood, and they are in a variety of different languages that you're pretty sure you could translate. But there's a lot to sift through on this book. The first section you see is written Demon True Names. You see it's written in Infernal.
Which I know.
Mm-hmm. What other languages do you know, might I ask?
Oh. Common, Draconic, Dwarfen, Elfin, Abyssal, Infernal, and Deep Speech.
Abyssal, Infernal, Deep Speech, and Draconic fill the pages of this tome. Though there are some side notes in Common that are clearly in a different penmanship. But they're just little side notes. Like, this potion of poison needs 3/4 of a pound, or of a stone. Is the weight measurement or something? I don't know. It's just like little side things. They don't really matter by themselves. For you to gain capabilities of using this book, it'll take a lot of hours of study.
Longer than we have to put in hours to take it back.
Yeah.
Mhm. We don't know how much time you're running out of.
Very quick skim through there. This book appears to contain true names of powerful creatures of the lower planes, powerful spells, a recipe for making a phylactery for lichdom,
Oh, shit.
Imagine how
Ability?
much gold.
Hmm?
No, I mean, I was like, imagine how much gold this book must cost.
You know it's an artifact. It's priceless. No amount of money in any plane would be worth this book.
Skimming through, would I come across anything that could easily take care or control the hag that's inside?
Give me an Arcana check, because even at a quick skim, this is such complex arcane that it takes even your best academic knowledge to even understand what's going on in the book.
Soft
your-
20.
Never mind.
That is enough.
Ri- Yay for having +7 to Arcana.
You're welcome.
You do see there is okay, so each artifact gets random properties, which I pre-rolled just in case anyone wanted to use the book. And it appears that there are a few necromantic spells in here. You're looking specifically for a way to dominate Igwilf, the Witch Queen, right?
Yes.
You do see that it would give you the capabilities of being able to completely control her. Give you like a specific, it's not even a spell, it's just an ability that you could try. But first you'd have to attune to this book in order to gain access to it.
Which is what, a short rest or?
This thing's an exception. You must spend 80 hours reading and studying it. That's 2 weeks.
Wow.
That's if you spent 8 hours every day for 2 weeks studying. Well, for 10 days, I should say. Yeah, it would be a 10-day. You guys are from Payroom. What am I saying? It would take a 10 days worth of studying.
Mhm.
And that's just to attune to it.
You would gain access to everything it has. It's all or nothing, essentially.
And that's just for a spell to be able to dominate Hagwolf.
Yes. It would be for that, for the bunch of spells that are in here, to understand the true names that are in here. True names are ridiculously powerful things that you can use to completely control creatures of the lower planes. And only really powerful creatures have true names. So essentially what I'm saying is you can control archdevils, such as Zariel, or demon lords, stuff like that.
We definitely cannot let the hag get this book.
It's too dangerous, yeah.
Okay.
But we also cannot let
We can't let her keep Lulu.
Lolo, yeah.
If we give her this book, she would essentially be the most powerful creature everywhere.
She had it before. Why didn't she use it though?
And it was taken from her before she could attune to it, or maybe can't be attuned to her.
Or maybe she used it until someone stopped her.
Or maybe she only uses it if it amuses her.
Would I be able to continue scrolling through, see if there's any lesser spells to free Lulu from her control?
How long do you skim through? An hour?
How long? Yes, at least.
You find spells, but you were not able to fully conceive them. Pretty much what I'm saying is, meta-wise, you'd have to attune. You'd have to spend that 80 hours worth of studying to use anything in the book.
All right. Who's up for killing her?
Could we even do that? She seems insanely powerful.
It's either that, give her the book, or let her keep Lulu. And at this point, I'm just pissed.
Sorry, Dylan. This is one of his favorite NPCs. She is very evil, you're not wrong.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to have to give her the book, and I don't want her to keep Lulu, but at the same time, we made a deal.
Okay, one, we didn't make the deal. Technically, that was just Richtofen. Two, how many people have we already killed that we didn't think we were going to? Haruman being the latest example, and he's roadkill. I am pissed. Let's get this over with. We need to make a decision.
X is right. This is because I'm me.
I mean, we can kill everything until we find something we cannot kill.
If it comes down to it, I'll fight her myself.
Not exactly what I meant, but technically we can do it. So, 2 in. What are you guys doing? Or what are you two doing?
I don't know.
I still think this is a bad idea.
I mean, maybe give her the book. So what's going to happen? She's going to control demons and keep doing this stupid war down here? Who cares?
But with the control of the demons here, she could also control the upper planes.
Could she, though?
If she has the most powerful demons at her disposal, what's stopping her?
The most powerful angels that are doing nothing up there, so...
Mm.
Well, the most powerful angels up there aren't exactly doing anything to save
It
the
is
city.
then, Rick Defend, that you understand why Mordekainen was so reluctant to give you the book. Why he was saying it might upset the balance of the multiverse.
We have to put her down.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking Hot Fuzz. You just got a shotgun, you're just... Shame.
But
Shame.
Shame.
why did we bring the book here? We could have brought up a book to kill this thing instead.
Nix reaches up, grabs one of the bracers, and just cocks it back like a shotgun, and you hear the sound.
Okay, I will load my crossbow and it will sound like a sword. Shing!
And
So we're back outside her lair.
Yeah, wherever you parked your cars.
I mean, also she teleported us with a snap. I don't know how this fight is going to go.
so, with that being said, Nix just suddenly remembers to double check the bike to make sure that Elizabeth is still there.
You check under the deer hide, and she is still there.
Okay.
You bring up a good point, though, Koi. She did that just like that to stop her from just making us hand over the book.
She could teleport us into the rivers.
Yeah, she could teleport us into the sticks. She could control us like she did Lulu.
And Nix, you do recall you did try to resist the spell, and you did a really good job trying to resist it, and it still affected you.
So we're basically going to have to get control of her quickly, immobilize her, and try to overwhelm her.
But at the same time, the book takes a long time to attune to it, right? Not a character.
It takes a full 10 days worth of studying, yeah? Like unstopped studying.
That's 10 days we don't know if we have with Richtofin's soul being forfeit, and 10 days that El Turiel is still sinking into the ocean.
Can you just like tear off one of the pages?
Don't tempt me, Nix. This is
Too
in
late.
Zoom chat.
Just saying.
I mean, really, if you like take a page off or something, wouldn't it be like very difficult to attune or impossible?
You know what? Actually, Koi, that's a good point. What if one of us just took a dagger or something and just carved out the part with the true names?
Would prestidigitation be able to make a normal book or other spell book look like this one?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Probably radiates some kind of power.
If you had a
Not
forgery kit, you could attempt it.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't have that.
I've always wanted to
Yeah,
play
probably.
a rogue, I keep forgetting, mastermind that had forgery as like their specialty.
Remind me, what's her name again?
You can call her the Witch Queen if it's easy to remember. I've seen her name enough times I actually know how to spell it. Igwilf. She is also known as Tasha, as with the famous spell Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which she made herself.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, all the Greyhawk mages, pretty much all the name spells are from Greyhawk mages.
Nice. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
There might be a few other spells she's made, but none of them are in 5e yet. And all of her spells are quite evil. Like, you go to cast it, and you're just like, if you're not evil aligned, you're like, I feel horrible. I regret everything.
I feel like we're in over our heads here if we try to face off with her.
And we need her to find the
The phylactery. We need her to find Baba Yaga in the phylactery. We need her to get Lulu back.
With the further inspection of the book, would I might be able to find out how to find or summon Baba Yaga?
The ritual might be in the book. You don't know for sure yet, though.
If we learn the ritual that leaves Lulu.
Open to ideas.
Okay, if you're so worried that she has the power to teleport us away, then the only other option we have is to give her the damn book and hope that somebody else comes to balance out the equation.
I mean,
or
life
we-
is away, right?
Nyx, your shield. Gorgath. The pit fiend that is in your shield. Tells you that you should keep the book.
Ah, you're still here? Jesus. Sorry,
I mean-
the shield spooked me.
You just used me a few days ago for a fireball.
Yes, but you didn't talk then.
Well, I'm bored.
Yeah, that's not
And
obvious.
that book of Vile Darkness interests me greatly. I'd love to see what it can do.
Of course it would. Guys, the shield says keep the book.
Also, destroying the Witch Queen would help everybody.
I hate to say it, but the shield has a good point.
Exactly. Let's
I'm-
give her the book.
No.
We will come back for it. With Lolo.
I am happy I'm in the shield rather than being under her control.
Let's
If-
try to get her to free Lulu first, give her the book, and then bring everything to bear on her.
So free Lulu and then try to get the book back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up for it.
And that way we at least have a Celestial at the disposal.
Yeah.
An amnesiac celestial, but
We have a
Suppose so.
celestial, a shield, a necromancer, a wonderful archer, a druid, and a sorcerer.
I'll walk into the bar.
I'll walk into the skull.
And the boys.
The bar suddenly sinks into Avernus, and we start this whole damn thing all over again.
Not again.
Fun fact, one of my favorite Planescape modules starts off that way.
What, the bar sinking into oblivion?
More of slight tangent here. Planescape, the city of Sigil, is the city of doors, and any closed off border, like a window border or a door border, can be a portal to anywhere in the multiverse. One of the adventures is your group goes to go in a tavern, and you all coincidentally have a specific key that activates a portal that's in the doorway of the tavern that leads you into another tavern, but that tavern's in the Nine Hells.
Okay, I can't tell if this is a reference to Elizabeth from BioShock or The Matrix.
It's before both of those things, so I don't know.
Alright.
It's
Fair
second edition, early 90s stuff.
I got you.
Diva's Spark, if anyone's curious. Anyway, so
Anyhow,
Yes.
you all are sitting out here, and you got your war plan out in the dirt.
mhm.
You got like axes and arrows. You make like a really fat looking lady, and you're like, that's the Witch Queen.
It stabs it a couple of times.
So with us sitting out here, would this have constituted like a short rest?
Sure.
What could we have lost in the meantime?
Wild shape.
I wild shaped.
Yeah, okay. Take it or leave it.
So that's the plan. We're gonna go in, feign handing the book over, and then once we got Lulu back, we rush her.
Lock her down with your vine whips. Try to immobilize her. Keep her from casting.
While
And
Rick
just throw
Tuffin
it.
goes back out and gets the ride and tries to run her over again.
If
Is
that
that
were
really-
possible.
Is that really the plan?
Do you have a better suggestion?
We give her the book, we free Zariel from being evil, and we get everything going back, and then she's just left with Belle and them to deal with.
Okay.
Yeah,
we-
basically let hell balance itself.
Let them fight. Let them fight.
I really don't think witch hunting right now it's one of our priorities.
With Zariel out of the way, there is a power struggle in hell between Belle and her and the demons trying to come in. They're beset at all sides, fighting each other. Meanwhile, the celestial plane gets another player back. 2, if we count Lulu. 2. So this entire hell pit becomes mired in a war that's focused on itself, and everything else is left to either prepare for it or continue doing what it's been doing, which is guarding the material world.
So we have 10 days before the book would attune to her.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
Fine. We give her the book, get Lulu back, get Baba Yaga philanthropy.
I mean, it's perfect. It's all we needed, just another timer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. The only thing the hell was missing, a ticking clock.
Technically, we already had that.
Yeah, we're
Another
like,
ticking clock.
So now we have
like 3.
three ticking clocks: Elturiel, Richtofen, and her
Last time on 24. Doot, doot.
in the first 48. All right.
Fine. Let's just make a freaking decision. I'm tired of this place.
Say we give her the book, and if we really need to, we can come back and try and either steal it or kick her ass.
Yeah, when we are stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger crossbow.
All right. That's the plan.
Yeah.
The hell's bell has rung. I'm kidding.
I think that was knocking on the door.
Ozzy in the background.
Another fun fact about Planescape, because I know too much about Planescape, there is a Hell's Bell in
Nice.
Planescape, which I'm pretty sure is a reference to the song. Or whatever the song references. But anyway, so you guys are going in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got
Guess
your
not.
you got your red headbands on, and there's just wind blowing it.
Hey, mine's black. Remember, I've got the magical bandana.
Now I've already got the blue feathers in my hair.
God, we look like the hell's worst rock band.
Or best. Actually,
Mm.
no, metal would be pretty metal in hell. It's probably where most
Yeah.
metal's at. Anyway. You knock on the door 3 times. Opens up. And you walk inside. And Uoth is looking right at the rest of you. No sign of Lulu. Appearing behind you, seeming to appear out of thin air, is her closet familiar, who becomes visible and flies past the rest of you back to her.
God, someone put a bell on that thing.
Can I just? Would it be like a check just to realize that the thing was outside listening to us the whole time?
Safe to assume.
Like, would I have to like make a check or anything like that, or just assume it?
You can. You don't need an insight check.
No. Okay. Yeah. I could just because of like a little sigh, like, of course.
Richtofen currently has the book, right?
Yes.
Roll initiative.
Oh shit!
Yep.
All right, we're doing this live.
All right.
Took that damn long to make a decision, and it still comes down to what we wanted in the first place.
As she does not look mad, just disappointed.
10. Of course.
10.
10 as well.
Who's the higher dex?
Higher dex is my dex is 13. No, not
Definitely.
13. 3. Mine is 3. My dex is 3.
Definitely.
Okay.
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 And then, sorry, what was Koi's?
8.
Nyx.
18.
She goes first.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, that's fair.
Not. Oh, wow. I keep forgetting like, last time I had enemies initiative, it was 12. And I forgot to remove the 1 in front of it, so I had 120 as her
Oh
initiative.
gosh. Good grief.
All right. So, yeah. Gotta love spellcasters, so I gotta look up the spell that she's gonna cast. Whee. Yeah. Okay. She looks at Richtofen and is like, "Give me the book." Wisdom saving throw. Since this is like a oh shit, if any of you have counterspell is a reaction, and you could use it right now.
25.
Okay. You feel a compulsion to not only bring the book to her, but like complete mind dominance over you. But you resist it.
No.
And she's like, interesting. That's her turn. She does not move from her desk. She's standing, but she does not remove from her desk or change her spot. After her is Nyx.
Her familiar still right next to her?
It's on her shoulder, yes.
Sickening Radiance.
All right, that's a con save, right?
I believe so. I'm now pulling it up to double check.
As I look up the Quasit's stats.
I'm pretty sure it's just gonna die outright. It's a closet.
Yeah.
Yes, con saving throw.
Okay.
Or 40-10. Or, well, 40-10.
She chooses to succeed, but her Quasit fails.
Of course.
So how much damage?
40-10 gets us... Ooh. 30 damage.
All right. As you cast that, she takes half of that, but you notice it does even less than that as a sigil that seems to be placed on matching both the floor and the ceiling right where she's standing glows as you cast Sickening Radiance on her. The Quasit dies instantly. And she just sighs. Anything else in your turn?
Yeah, I try and move. I don't want to say all the way around her, but I want to move off to the side so I'm not directly beside her. Or directly in front of her, rather. Sorry.
Okay. Let's see. Oh. Nah, she didn't care enough. She wouldn't have cast that anyway. As her legendary action, you notice 3 more versions of her appear. They all mirror her movements. After Nyx, I believe is Braca.
Okay. Oh boy. Well, so she's just staying right where she's at.
Yep, hasn't moved.
All right, fine. Choose to succeed on things.
If you give me the book now, I might spare your lives.
We just tried to do that.
You planned to kill me. It was a ruse.
You took our familiar friend, the celestial friend.
Lulu.
That one.
Hmm.
I was going to say, she has a name.
I forgot it considering the Elizabeth thing.
That's the worst. I don't really know what I can do that'll help this situation.
Sickening Radiance is 5th level, isn't it?
4th.
Okay. She looks like she didn't take any damage.
Look, at the end of the day, we decided that we didn't want to fight you, and you started this crap after we walked in.
Look, we're mortals. We're the prospect of fighting something insanely powerful or giving something insanely powerful to something that is an adverse morality to ourselves is very, very frightening to us as creatures with short lives. You can understand why we were a little bit hesitant to give it to you, though we did eventually come around to realize this is probably for the best that we could hope to do in this situation. What happened?
We wanted Lulu back.
Yeah, we want our friend back. We want to be able to help our friend and help other people. So we decided this is probably the best course of action. And if it comes to it, which I don't think it will, because you're going to probably be mired with a bunch of conflict even after we give you the book, then we would probably come back to try and set things right. If it came to it.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay, my persuasion is probably shit.
Not. Can I assist, considering I have been talking to her as well?
Sure. You have advantage.
Thank goodness. All right. Okay. 17.
Sorry, I'm looking up things. She's not actually hesitating in character. Give me a moment.
Right.
All right. Then hand me the book.
Sighs a little bit of relief. Richtofen, hand her the book.
Nyx is still staying on guard regardless.
Hand me the book and I'll give you what I promised.
The ritual and Lulu.
Yes.
Okay. Richtofen, book.
Reluctantly hands her the book.
As you move forward with it, she casts Mage Hand, and you see the Mage Hand has claws on as the fingers, and it just grabs the book.
Kind of like your little grabby hands, Richtofen.
She has the book. She takes a good look at it. Do you do anything while she's investigating the book?
Just gonna stay on guard.
No.
Okay. Well, it appears you didn't try to dupe me out with a fake one. That's good. Here's the ritual you need to summon Baba Yaga. And the Mage Hand moves over a scroll to Braca.
Takes it.
You notice the scroll seems to be made of some fiendish hide.
Lovely.
You may go.
And Lulu?
You'll get her back.
When?
When I feel like it.
That was not part of the deal. We would get her back in the scroll if we did this for you.
But you didn't specify when.
Do we really need to specify?
This is
that?
a
You
harsh
know.
but much needed lesson for you all. I am not a devil. I could have just not gone along with this promise at all. But I'm going to play with the game of hell.
Well, we need to do to get Lulu back now.
Lulu's not here.
Where is she?
I will bring her back after you summoned Baba Yaga.
Ah, all right.
Forget it. It's what we need to do in the first place. Let's take the
Yep.
ritual, get it done ASAP.
Right, doing it. See you in a bit.
She points the way to the way out.
Oh, we're already walking out.
Okay.
Yeah, Nyx would be gone by the time they finish the sentence.
Yeah, Baraka is subtly, not so subtly, just got a hand on her scimitar, but it's also also at a position where the middle finger is definitely visible.
Oh yeah, that's right. Piss off the person who could. Never mind.
It
We
is,
know we can't fight her. It's just a little, yeah.
it is then that you notice that the shadows are moving around the
Mhm.
place.
Of course they are.
But they don't move away from the place as you guys walk away from it.
Okay.
They don't
I'm
follow
gonna,
you.
I'm going to reference something you said in Discord again. I'm still very concerned about Nyx in the shadows here.
They do not follow you.
All right.
They did follow you to the door, but that's as far as they went. As you guys leave, you look at the scroll.
Mm-hmm. Yep, got it out.
You see it is the ritual for summoning the dancing hut.
Does it have like a picture on it?
The ritual takes 10 minutes. It has a few pictures. It's like the water bending scrolls, like kind of like traditional draw.
Right. Yeah.
Does that mean
Oh,
I'm
it's
going to
good.
smack Richtofen if I try to do a water whip?
Yes. I do have that. Oh, well, you already know I have that cantrip. But
Yes,
anyway,
indeed.
performing the ritual takes 10 minutes. It requires a character. You only need one person for it. To strut around and dance like a chicken inside of a circle made out of abyssal chicken guts while chanting the phrase, little hut, lend me your ear. Little hut, come over here.
Not it.
I vote
Not it.
Baraka after transforming into a chicken.
You know what? Wait, I couldn't even talk as a chicken. I doubt that would work.
The fact that a dragonborn just tried to imitate an abyssal chicken is
The image is hilarious.
it's going to haunt me.
Well, lizards are just birds that didn't evolve.
You do have a bunch of abyssal chicken meat.
Do we have enough for this?
I'll say you do, sure.
All right. And we can stop at AFC later. We need more. We also got the deer jerkies. That'll hold us over. It's probably not as good as AFC.
Asmodeus Fried Chicken definitely has some of the best abyssal chicken.
Take a few days later, takes a bite of the deer and just goes, "It's not the same, damn it."
It doesn't have the 666 secret herbs and spices.
Right. Yeah. All right, let's do this.
So who's
Yeah.
casting the ritual? It doesn't have to be just one person. You just need a minimum of one person.
Okay.
Heck.
I already did the cutberry, not it.
You're not the one dancing like the chicken. That's Bronca. We just need somebody to cast the damn thing.
Oh, no, the one dancing is the one casting it.
Right.
Oh, okay. Bronca.
All right. So we gonna lay everything out.
Yes.
Yep, you get a bunch of the abyssal chicken guts, aka your fried abyssal chicken, and you make it into a circle. And inside the circle, you start barking like a chicken and saying that phrase over and over again for 10 minutes.
Yeah, for 10 minutes.
After 10 minutes pass, he lists possibility for messing up the ritual, but you guys have been through enough. You just do it.
This is gonna be great.
You hear in the distance a loud squawk that echoes through the blasted landscape of Avernus. And in the
Let me
distance, you see what appears to be an old swamp hut, but underneath it are giant-sized chicken legs, and it is running across Avernus, and it's running straight towards you. Bunch
Wonderful.
of dust flying behind it.
It's the
We're gonna
Shiva
eat
hut.
good
Of hell.
today.
Baba Yaga.
As you can hear, even from there, just like if it's chicken
Picking
legs.
up so much speed.
Must go faster. Must go faster. Must go faster.
Do you do anything as it approaches?
Do we need
Ready
to keep?
battle stations.
Did the thing?
You have like a minute.
Did the thing say we have to keep casting it to keep drawing it in, or
That's all it said. That was
It's-
to
it's a-
summon the dancing hut.
okay?
Hey Rick,
Mm-hmm.
go get the car.
Mm.
You're right next to it.
Are we gonna play chicken with the chicken hut?
I'm gonna hop in the vehicle.
Okay. I assume the driver's seat.
Oh
the,
yeah.
the helm, as it's called.
You know what? This would be a perfect time for the others to grab their battle stations on the vehicle.
All right, hopping up,
Bunch of switches for no
Wrecking ball.
reason. You just
wrecking ball,
on all the switches. And
wrecking ball up.
as you get the vehicle ready, what do you do? Are you gonna like drive towards it, or you're just sitting idle?
Sitting idle, waiting.
Okay.
Just revving the engine.
It gets closer and closer and closer, and the ground starts shaking as each of its steps hits the ground. And it gets right up to where you guys are, and it keeps running past you.
Oh god. Is there any way for me as it's running past us to try and just like angle the wrecking ball to trip it up?
What?
Try and trip it up in the wrecking ball chains?
Earth
Or at
Tremor.
least
And before you can even react, the JoJo to be continued arrow shows up, as we'll see
Dun, dun, dun.
on the next
Car
episode
chase.
of To Hell We Ride, as the group chases after the dancing hut.
This time we are the ones who are pursuing.
Yes.
Anybody
And-
else feel like they?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, anybody else feel like they just pulled a One Piece on us?
I want the 8-piece.
I mean, that would match Dylan. He loves One Piece.
I just
I
kind of
mean-
see it. You know, we're all at the ready. We're ready to spill some blood, and then just zoom right past us.
Next time on
Joestar Family secret techniques right past us.
To Hell We Ride.
Mhm.
Anyone have any plugs before we call it a night?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Avernus Fried Chicken. Asmodeus Fried Chicken.
it's so looking good.
It's so licking good.
So good you'll give your soul for a bucket.
It's so good. There we go. That's the slogan.
Soul good.
It's so
It's
cool.
soul food.
Soul good.
It's so.
The ul- the
It's so
ultimate-
food.
The ultimate soul food.
Asmodeus fried chicken and waffles.
Oh God.
I hate all of you.
All right, that's a good spot. Good night,
good
everybody.
Night, everybody.
Right.
This was so good.